Ghana Talks Radio in a mix. In a mix.
The best music in the world.
The best.
Best music.
My favorite station.
Ghana Talks Radio.
GTR News. GTR News. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR. GTR.
Good afternoon. It's time for the afternoon news radio on Ghana Talk Show. But before I start, today is a beginning of a new month. Actually, today is 1st July. So I wish you all a happy new month. May this month bring us forth and happiness. May this month be joyous to us. May this month be good to us. So moving to our headlines. Fire officers involved in crash and road to accident scene responding to treatment. We will represent arrested Arise Ghana protesters in court. Opare Addo. This and more stories coming up. Stay tuned.
GTR News. GTR News.
The National Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, George Opare Addo, says his outfit will provide legal representation for all the protesters who were arrested during the Arise Ghana demonstration.
GTR News. GTR News.
The National Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, George Opare Addo, says his outfit will provide legal representation for all the protesters who were arrested during the Arise Ghana demonstration. 29 suspects were picked up by the police for allegedly engaging in various forms of offensive behavior during Arise Ghana recent protest, especially at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. Police are accusing the suspect of, among others, things pelting stones at them, destroying police vehicles, and burning tires in the middle of the road. According to Judge Opare Addo, after a meeting with the IGP, bail conditions were agreed for all the suspects, and they were all to present guarantees of public officials who earned salaries of above 2,000 and had Ghana cards. We met with the IGP and we agreed on the bail conditions. We have managed to secure bail for all 29 of them. They were 28 males and 1 female. We will all be there on Monday with them and wait for when the police will want to take them to court. We will represent them, he said. Moving to our next story. Level of work at Kumasi Central Market impressive. Gifty Ohene Konadu. The national coordinator of the Monitoring and Evaluation Secretariat at the Office of the President, Gifty Ohene Konadu, has said that she is completely overwhelmed with the level of progress of the Kumasi Central Market and other projects. According to her, considering the factors that delayed the project for 1 year compared to the about 53% completion rate of the entire market facility, she could only praise the government, contractors, and the consultants of the project for a good job done. Madam Gifty Ohene also expressed their happiness about the local content of the project, where 98% of the about 450 workers are Ghanaian artisans. Madam Konadu was also impressed with the construction of well-designed drainage facilities to deal with the perennial flooding associated with the area whenever it rains heavily. Moving to our next local story. Teacher unions to decide on strike over cost of living allowance. Teacher unions across the country are expected to take a decision on their intention to embark on an indefinite strike following the failure of government to pay them the cost of living allowance. The teacher unions say their demand for 20% allowance is due to the rising cost of living. The unions demanding the allowance include the National Association of Graduate Teachers (NAGRAT), Ghana National Association of Teachers (GNAT), and Coalition of Concerned Teachers (CCT), and the Teachers and Educational Workers Union. Government had assured that it would have reached an agreement with leadership of teacher unions by close of day, which was yesterday, June 30th, 2020. So we're going on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the business and political news. Stay tuned.
Ghana Talks Radio, wo UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system which spinning machine papa every amano ne aba begu o Ghana mu ha enti se we ye a year we ye engagement we ye wedding we ye birthday party political parties are mo ye rally some we ye sorry mo ye crusade so we bo carnival or any kind of event now we pe spinning machine papa a bo sound no mu de dia ene me kanfo GTR sounds e de emawo ya wa live band nso a woto nsa e de frɛn ya ye betimi ababeboa ama wudwumedi a wudi ene nso atimi aye kama pa ya wo enkan poponi mantamo anya aponchi hotel ɛhɔ pepepe ɛna ye butuo odi ane sɛ wo bɛfrɛ empanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu wode angaza
GTR News. GTR News.
Welcome back from the break. If you just joined us live on Ghana Talks Radio, and this is the afternoon. So moving to some business stories. E-levy already brain dead. Sam George. Then Ingo Pram MP Sam George remains unconvinced that the electronic transfer levy will amount to anything. Speaking on Eyewitness, he said the E-levy was already a failure. The E-levy is dead. It is in the ICU. It is brain dead. You can call it a brain dead policy, he said. Though the government has not officially indicated how much the levy has accrued after 2 months, a leading pro-government voice, Gabi Asare Ochodako, said the government is racking in only 10% of estimated revenue. According to him, the government had been targeting revenue of 600 million Ghana cedis from the 1.5% levy on electronic financial transactions. The government's target for 2022 is 4.5 billion Ghana cedis, but iMoney Africa has said about 83% of Ghanaians have reduced their mobile money transactions. These remarks have been followed by substantial fears that the government may amend the levy to cover mobile money merchant transactions. Mr. George said this could be evidence of the government desperation of the matter. So moving to our next business story, let's prioritize agric research and funding. Prof Kanton. Government and players in the agricultural value chain are being urged to place more value on research and funding in the sector. These, according to agricultural experts, are key drivers in turning around Ghana's agricultural potential. Former research scientist with the Savannah Agricultural Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Professor Kanton, said it is high time Ghana prioritized agric funding and research. Professor Roga was particularly worried that Ghana's agricultural sector is over the years losing out yearly due to these challenges, a situation he strongly believes must be addressed. Moving to some political story. NDC MPs won't support passage of new loans without special purposes, Mahama says. National Democratic Congress legislators will not support the approval of any loans that do not have specific terms or purposes. This is according to former President John Mahama, speaking at the Think Progress Ghana launch in Accra on Thursday. He accused the Akufo-Addo government of excessive borrowing that has plunged the country's economy into difficulties. Mahama said any further borrowing would further destroy the economy. Hence, the decision of ND MPs to stay away from endorsing laws with unclear terms. We wish to serve notice that the NDC in Parliament will not support any further non-concessionary borrowing or loans that are not project-specific with clear, ambitious terms of the benefit to our nations. We will not partake in the destruction of the Ghanaian economy, which this government appears so bent on doing, he said. He said the government must immediately restructure the country's debt to give it some fiscal space to undertake relevant projects that will bring development and improve people's lives. Moving to our next political story. Joshua Akamba says his gun is licensed. He carried it for protection. A former deputy national organizer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, Joshua Akamba, has refuted claims of being arrested by the police during day 2 of the Arise Ghana protest. He disclosed on the Opare morning show aired on Thursday, June 30th, 2022, that he was only asked by the security personnel to surrender the weapon he was in possession of. There has been a wide reportage in the media landscape claiming that Mr. Akamba, an integral organizer of the Chrome Ayeshi Dupe demonstration, was arrested on Wednesday for brandishing a pistol at the function. But reacting to this development, the vocal politician debunked them and said the police only engaged him with an advice to withdraw the weapon from the masses, which he obliged. So moving to some international stories now. 20-year-old man held farewell party to end his life. 20-year-old held a goodbye barbecue and now plans to die by assisted suicide after his intestine burst and ruined his health. A requiem from Fort St. John in British Columbia held the farewell bash last month will now die on his own terms after a blockage doctors couldn't diagnose ruptured in 2020 and gave him sepsis. I always say no matter what happens, no matter what you're going through, there's always something. There's always something, like, I don't know, DJ Cham.
Yeah.
Let's say what's from the story. He's just 20 years old and I'm also 20 years. And doctors have seen his intestines are busted and nothing can be done about it. From the picture you can see on the right side he looks so fresh and saucy and juicy.
Yeah.
But on the left side he looks so pale, he looks so sick, he's almost at the verge of dying. Do you think dying or suicide is the right choice for him?
I don't think so, because who knows, maybe things may get better for him.
Okay, but doctors have said me fan ko chimu ne yemu nyame ni na pro asai hwe ni ho mbetumi aya afa ho.
I imagine that. Do you know why? Do you know what?
No.
One thing I don't like going or visiting the hospital is, what the doctor says is what kills us, even though if what they say is not the truth.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's why I said maybe, who knows, maybe he may get better than you, than him. I don't know whether to decide on what the doctor said. Because with me particular, what the doctor says or the doctor say is what is killing us, because it's like, as I am here all the time. Yes. So that is it. But
he himself, he knows that gradually he's dying, because how he used to be at first, that's not how he is. Like, he has changed totally.
So in things like this, maybe if he have, let's say, a year or 2 or 3 or more years to live. Right now that the doctor has said this, even whether, I don't know whether tension or thinking,
the thinking
alone will kill him. Yes.
Okay, so DJ Cham, thank you very much. Okay, so we all heard DJ Cham. Suicide or death is not an option. No matter what you're going through, there's this adage: there's always light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how the tunnel is dark, you should always know there's an end to that tunnel and you will see light at the end of the tunnel. So we move into some entertainment story. Queen thought Prince Harry would name Lilibet after the monarch Nicky Haslam. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's daughter Lilibet has been in the news since her birth due to rumors around her name. Adding another mystery to the list, an interior designer Nicky, who happens to be close with the royals including the Duchess of Cornwall and Prince Michael of Kent, claimed that the Queen thought the child would be named after her. Adding to Daily Mail, Haslam detailed, "I heard Harry rang her and said, 'We want to call our daughter after you, Granny.' She said, 'How charming of you, thank you,' thinking that it would be Elizabeth. So they got the permission, but they didn't say the name," he added. The outlet also reported that Haslam raised the question of why the baby was not named after Meghan's mother instead during his appearance on the third act. Why on earth didn't they call that baby Doria? He asked. It is the prettiest name ever. So this is where we end the afternoon news radio on Ghana Talks Radio. I go by the name Regina Bless. Stay tuned for the lunchtime rhythm.
Get it big, get it here. Listen to all your live mixes, live radio programs, and live entertaining and news package programs right here from GTR, Ghana Talks Radio.